who you with, Kirk, though. I'm out. I'm out. I'm out. I'm out. Welcome to Speak On It with who you with, Kirk, though. I'm out. I'm out. I'm out. I'm out. Welcome to Speak On It with who you with, Kirk, though. Welcome to Speak On It with who you with, Kirk, though. I'm out. I'm out. I'm out. I'm out. Welcome to Speak On It with who you with, Kirk, though. Welcome to Speak On It with who you with, Kirk, though. I'm welcome. I'm welcome. I'm welcome. I'm welcome to Speak On It with who you with, Kirk, though. Welcome to Speak On It with who you with, Kirk, though. I'm welcome. I'm welcome. I'm welcome. I'm welcome to Speak On It with who you with, Kirk, though. Welcome to Speak On It with who you with, Kirk, though. I'm welcome. I'm welcome. I'm welcome. I'm welcome to Speak On It. Welcome to Speak On It. I'm welcome to Speak On It. Welcome to Speak On it. I'm welcome to Speak On It. Welcome to Speak On it. I'm welcome to speak. Welcome to speak. I'm 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 who you with, Kirk, dog. Welcome to Speak On It with who you with, Kirk, dog. I'm who you with, Kirk, dog. Want to welcome everyone to the show tonight. The things that goes on behind the scene. Y'all know what time it is. It is Thursday night. My homegirl's waiting in the cut, Miss Risky. But first, we want to welcome everyone on Facebook, YouTube, Periscope, Twitch, Twitter. D Live is always in the house. And if you are on my personal Facebook page, please take the time to go over to the podcast page, Speak On It with who you with, Kirk, dog. Also, whatever platform you're on, please take the time to like, share, tell a friend. We are live. Click the notification for whenever we do come on live. You can be a part of the show. So I'm not going to make y'all wait too long because she's already ready with the history for us to bring it on. We're going to talk about sundown towns and the history tonight. Some people may think it's not still going on, but it definitely is. So welcome to the show, my little sister, Miss Risky.
Hey. What?
What you sipping on tonight?
Water.
Yeah, it's too hot for anything else.
Not in my apartment. I have it on 90 and it's still like the frozen tundras in here. I mean, no complaints. But
Yeah,
I
no
had my heater.
complaints.
Yeah, I had my heater fan at my feet today.
I came home, I told my wife, I said, ooh, it is real hot outside or it's real cold up in here. And I don't get cold. And I'm like, but it feel good. I'm not complaining. So so how was your week?
I'm busy. Narrowed down a couple of projects I'm gonna focus on. I'm thinking about doing a couple of more screenplays so I can have some options if this one sells, because that's highly recommended apparently. And then I'll focus on my books later. And then discovered I had another one in the background that I forgotten, my little guidebook, and I was like, oh, I forgot about that. So I have a lot of projects, but I'm focusing on 2 scripts right now.
Yeah, okay. Well, that's good. I know you've been busy because you text me a lot of stuff over the weekend. So that's cool. Welcome to the show. Radio Chaos is in the house. Thank you for always tuning in, supporting the show, and being a part of the show. I appreciate you. Um, so tonight we're gonna talk about sundown towns, and some people may feel like, what do you mean about sundown town? Well, back in the old days, our ancestors, once the sun went down, they had to be out of certain towns. Um, okay. But Miss Risky is coming in with the history, so I'm gonna let her holler up on her history.
All right. So, let me interject before he goes into all my history, and then I won't have anything to tell. So, sundown towns, they were also known as sunset towns, gray towns, or sundowner towns. Those were communities that for decades kept non-whites from living in it, and was just all white on purpose. Um, some allowed a non-white household or two as an exception, but it was probably because they were a necessity, like they were probably higher up or in government or something. But one too many of us back in the day with that status. The term came from signs posted that colored people had to leave town by sundown. The practice was not restricted to the southern states. At least until about 1960s, northern states could be nearly as inhospitable to black travelers as states like Alabama or Georgia. Beginning in about 1890 and continuing until about 1968, white Americans established thousands of towns across the United States for whites only. Many towns drove out their black population, then posted sundown signs. Others passed laws barring African Americans after dark or prohibiting them from owning or renting property. Still others just harassed and even killed those who violated the custom. Some sundown towns also kept out Jews, Chinese, Mexicans, Native Americans, and other non-white groups. See, after slavery and the Civil War ended in 1865, blacks began moving everywhere for about 25 years. Most, however, were still unable to leave the South. Once Reconstruction ended, Southern states immediately set up a system that looked like slavery. Like none of the stuff changed. The laws, they were still there. The system became known as Jim Crow. And under Jim Crow, blacks could not vote. They could not be accommodated at restaurants, parks, hotels, or schools used by whites. And we've talked about this on the show in previous shows. Um, Even streetcars and railroad waiting rooms isolated blacks in separate sections. Lynchings and other forms of violence against blacks rose to their highest points. The Great Migration sparked racism across the country. Whites feared black immigrants, and they established sundown towns, like I said, throughout, expelling their black residents, and agreed to not admit any between 1890 and 1940. But it extended further than that. There were also race riots in which white mobs attacked black neighborhoods, burning, looting, and killing. And we've talked about this on the show with all the massacres. At least 50 towns and probably many more than that drove out their African American populations violently. At least 16 did so in Illinois alone. In the West, another 50 or more towns drove out their Chinese American populations. And let's see, instead of the promised land that black migrants found that Jim Crow had made the journey north to. They were unable to settle in the kinds of small communities that they had inhabited in the South. Instead, they were allowed to settle in only the oldest, most rundown neighborhoods in industrial cities. Whites fled to suburbs and parts of the city with better housing, which they're still doing today. At some point, say in the 1930s, the Negro Motorist Green Book was published, and it's sometimes called the Negro Traveler's Green Book, or simply the Green Book. And I didn't they do a movie on that?
Yes, they did, and it's a very good movie.
That's on my list. I haven't watched it yet, but now I'm interested. But it's basically a guide that helped minorities, specifically Black Americans, travel to less resistant areas. Because let's face it, during that time, everybody was resistant to Black migration. So sundown towns, like I said, they range from tiny villages to cities. Most of the suburbs were entire counties. The communities ranged from rich to poor outside of the traditional South, where towns, let's see, majority of all incorporated places that kept out African Americans were, let's see, for example, in 1970, 71% of Illinois towns with over 1,000 people had been all white in their census and continued on for a while. Um, Even though, let's see, they were everywhere, the topic didn't come about until sociology professor Jim Lowen researched and wrote about it in 2005. Most white Americans have no idea such communities exist, or they think such places mainly exist in the Deep South. Ironically, like I stated, most of these sundown towns, not in the South. Like Mississippi, for instance, has no more than six, while Illinois has 456. That's a large amount. Historians in sundown communities do not discuss it because they state that it would affect, badly affect or reflect badly on their communities. I mean, because nobody wants to be considered living in a racist community. Everybody's all inclusive, right? Kumbaya. Racism was in the past. Slavery is in the past. But we're still feeling the residual effects today. So, like I stated, a lot of these communities, you see them now living in all white communities, attending all white churches, and, not knowing a single Black person well. Like, they may work with them. It's like, oh, I know. I have one Black friend. He, mows my lawn, or something random. It's not your friend. That's your employee.
Exactly.
So residential segregation still makes it hard for even middle-class Black people to escape the ghetto. When white working and middle classes fled to the suburbs and exurbs, which I had to look up because I was like, exurbs? I've never heard of that. That's so exclusive. I've never even heard of it. But it's a district outside of a city, especially with a prosperous area beyond the suburbs. I didn't know that existed. Most industries and businesses move there too because you move where the money is, and where so that's where you're marketing to your people. The bus systems used by inner city residents do not go to those communities. I mean, less access. This has left many African Americans unable to get family supporting jobs. In 2019, a sociologist, Heather O'Connell, wrote that sundown towns are primarily a thing of the past. But writer Morgan Jenkins disagreed, saying sundown towns have never really gone away. Uh, I mean, it's still here. It's like, and she probably goes to all white church, went to all white school, and doesn't think, she's like, well, everybody in my neighborhood is cool. We're not racist. But yeah, it's all cookie cutter. Um, Another research was done, and this is from a story from Bernadette Giacomazzo in 2021. The extensive research revealed that at least 60 of Kentucky's 782 towns are considered sundown towns. Most of today's sundown towns are relocated or located in the Midwest. Let's see, in 2017, the NAACP issued a travel warning for the entire state of Missouri. The first time and the entire state had been issued such a warning. And then guess what? In 2020, we had that same thing. San Antonio, Texas. They were issued a warning by the defund San Antonio Police Department Coalition, who also labeled the Texas city a sundown town. NAACP also revealed that black drivers are 75% more likely to be stopped and searched by law enforcement than their white counterparts. And it still kind of urged that people check the sundown towns while traveling. Today, check these towns. I shared the link with Kurt Dog, gave that to him so he could post it on his page because it's very interesting. Like, even though these communities are not necessarily considered sundown towns, the census doesn't lie. Like, there was one, I think it's, well, I'll tell you one because I always knew about this community because that's like the place to live. Everybody was migrating at one point. Before Frisco and McKinney, it was white settlement. Now, I mean, just the name alone
That says
lets
a
you
lot.
know it's a white settlement. But, and then the question is, even on the page, is it still a sundown town? And it just says, don't know. But the confirmation is saying it's possible. And they stated that the groups excluded are blacks. I mean, come on, it's white settlement. According to the 1950 census, in that community, there were 10,827 um, whites there, only 7 black. And they don't have any updated information since then. So I'm not sure what's going on, but I don't know too many black people who live in a community called White Settlement. Like, that just sounds like a deterrent to me. Um, so yeah, check it out. I recommend you check it out because it's very interesting. And the towns that you expect to be sundown towns are actually not. They're very like they noted Irving, Texas. I'm just going by Texas because that's where I live. Of course, is multicultural. Um, I guess it used to be a sundown town, but with companies and businesses moving to that area and people migrating to that area because it's a nice area. There's some shady areas, but for the most part, it's a good, place to grow. Um, so yeah, there's a large number of mixed group of people. So yeah, check it out.
Exactly. And I'm as I'm pulling up different things, there's actually been some recent reports um listing of sundown towns. So it's still existing. So definitely if you are traveling, you might want to check where you're going first because it's one that came out. Uh, it's not gonna let me be great, but this came out in May of this year, talking about cities in New England that is a sundown town. My internet is blocking it. I don't know why.
But I mean, most of the northern, because I think I had a friend, and see, I got it from her page because I was like, I don't know what I'm going to do a story on, but she likes to go on the road and take a lot of road trips, and posted this story. But I remember her talking about she wanted to go to Maryland or Maine. It was one of those. I can't remember which one it was. I'll remember it because it was a show that she's watching, and she realized, wait a minute, this whole reality show or whatever, I haven't seen not one black person. And then, we both Googled, like, what's the racial makeup? There's like 1.2% black, and the rest is like Caucasian,
Yeah.
like 90%, you know. And I was like, and they could be a great group of people, they could be inclusive, but it's too cold over there. That's my takeaway from it. But I would love to still go and visit and and see the fishermen eat fresh seafood. But yeah, it makes you wonder, like just Google some things and look up like the population and the demographics. That's quite interesting.
Yeah. Oh, excuse me. Yeah, that is interested on that. You'll be amazed of some of the things that you would run through. Kind of like, matter of fact, what city is that? I used to deliver there all the time, and I hated going down there. Where the brother was drug hit down in South Texas.
Jarvis?
Now it
Well,
wasn't
we've had a
Jarvis.
couple of.
Yeah,
I think that was one of the first ones we were aware of in our time in the 90s. Wasn't it in the 90s? I think it was in the 90s, yeah. Um,
um, I'm trying to find it out now because it's on the tip of my tongue, and I'm like, I cannot. I'm a James Bird Jr., Jasper, Texas. Um, that is allegedly a sundown town because with Jasper, um, they're a small old town, but they're also majority Caucasian. Um, so, and that actually happened in '98 when he was drugged to death
yeah,
on the
but
back.
there was another incident later, like in the 2000s. I can't remember which one it was, but yeah, a lot of these stories, especially back in the day, didn't get reported, and I'm sure they're still going on today. And unless it gets tweeted or somebody, there's an outrage, you'll never hear about it because it happens so often.
Well, now they're
Well,
now they just do it a little bit openly.
yeah,
They become police officer and
do other things to brutalize the community.
exactly. So kind of like the officer, I guess it was last week, earlier this week or something, did a traffic stop and tossed the plastic bag in the back seat of the car, but he was caught
Well,
on tape doing it though.
well, if you look at the whole video, he pulled the plastic from the passenger's pocket. It was just an empty bag, and he just threw it in the back seat of the car. So it wasn't like drug. It was an empty bag. Like if you watch the whole video, that's what it was. But just taking that snippet where he just tosses it in
Yeah,
it's a different perspective. But if you watch the whole thing, he takes it from the young man who in the passenger seat and just throws it in there. So you got to watch the whole video.
yeah. What happened was another officer pulled out a bag. It said it was from the guy, but said they didn't want to hold on to it. Normally, what I've seen in the past, if they find something on the suspect, they secure it on top of the car and not toss it in
Well,
the
it was
car.
an empty bag, so there was nothing to secure.
I
So, like,
wonder
if
if
it
he
was,
was charged with it. So,
yeah, no,
uh,
no, they were set free. There were no charges. Even, they
oh,
were
okay,
let go. So, yeah, it was literally an empty bag. Now, I have a
okay,
problem with
good.
this story. I have no idea. Like, I haven't gotten any information on this because I think I shared this with you on. See
Yes,
that dude is all on top of this lady who's not resisting. She's just crying because this grown man is on her in 100-degree weather. Um, Another officer comes by. He's like trying to figure out, why are you completely on top of this woman? Like,
yeah,
I have questions. Um,
exactly.
yeah, I wasn't able to get too much information on that story, but it happened in Forney. Let's see. I think it started out she got arrested for assault of an officer while trying to defuse. Well, so there was another lady, excuse me, who came up at the end. You can see it on the video, who attacks the officer. Well, she is actually getting up to walk towards the car. So I don't know if they're talking about she was arrested for assault, um, but I think the daughter is the one that is on the ground. So yeah. There was
Well,
very and I forgot to look it up because I was like, yeah, I meant to look that up.
well, from what I seen from the video, I don't know what caused the incident, but they said apparently someone called said the young lady was walking in the street or something crazy. But but the young lady was able to call her mother and tell her where she was. So they went, and when they made it there, they see this officer on top of her. But the mother, she was calm, trying to calm her daughter down, who is an 18-year-old young lady, calming her down, saying it's going to be okay, just relax, it's going to be okay. Wasn't getting upset at the officer or anything like that. Actually made the situation better from the video I seen. And the officer, the way that he was laying on her, and she was like, "Hey, she's foaming from her mouth. Could you please get off of her?" Wasn't upset, wasn't cussing him or anything like that, talking calm to him. And you could see foam coming out her mouth. So he eventually did turn her over, put handcuffs on her. And even while they was walking to the car, the
Yeah, she
mother
was
was
just cool,
still
calm.
talking to her, being nice to the officer. And then all of a sudden, he turned around and snatched her. I think the young lady mentioned her handcuffs was pretty tight. And the mother said, "Hey, can you loosen up the handcuffs?"
But like in the video, like the let's see, because I'm trying to because so it was the mom that was getting handcuffed, or was it the daughter?
It was the mother
All right, and then the daughter, because on the video, like the daughter charged at the officer,
no, the daughter
and
was in the handcuffs.
okay, so
That's who the officer
because
was laying on top of.
okay, because whomever charged him should have been arrested. Because I was like, listen, there was no like, there's no nothing like let them be, because she's off the ground. They're all calm, kumbaya, and then here she comes just out of nowhere, like an Avenger.
What?
And they had to take her down because I was just like, whoa, whoa, where did she come from? Hey, Marcellus,
Oh,
with your little kissy
Marcellus came
faces.
in.
He did.
Oh, oh,
He snuck in there.
happy Thursday to you, Marcel. Oh, I'm sorry. Hold on. He didn't say that to me. He said it to you. Happy Thursday. Hey, Miss
So let me see.
Frisky.
Let's see if we can see that play out, because I have to look on the other screen, because they're walking to the car, and of course they're still surrounded. But then,
See, he pushed her,
because
and
another person got involved, because it like she was trying to reach for her mom's hand or something. So yeah, it was, but they took her down. So yeah.
yeah, they was walking. Which the young that's I believe that's the mother. Now, my sister told me earlier that they did a news conference earlier with Smash. The topic shout out to Smash for always
His people be everywhere,
being out in those streets and
like everywhere.
exactly. Shout out to y'all for the job that you do. And they did a interview the mother, a press conference earlier with the mother and the daughter, and they was like, "Hey, it wasn't. She wasn't trying to do anything. I didn't get a chance to see it, but someone was telling me, and it's wrong. And I did get a chance to look right before we came on uh, net section generation. They was having a protest out there that is currently going on. So if you are in the area, you need to check up on your folks. Go out there and protest, especially if you live in that area. You should be out there and want answers. So the sheriff office is investigating this and trying to see what's what. So hopefully it works out. But this need to stop. It really do. Um, it's a shame how people of color get treated differently, all because someone decided to call and say something you automatically take the word without investigating it. And just because we are
Because
people of
people are
color,
brainwashed.
yeah,
It's
it's worse.
decade. Well, actually, it's centuries of bigotry. I mean, since
Exactly.
slavery, since we stopped working for free, we've been lazy, low down, rapists. We've been angry black. We've been, ghetto, living on the system. And even though it's like it was hard to get jobs because of the color of your skin, so we had all these labels that still go on today without any justification, just because somebody said we were
Yeah,
going to be,
somebody said.
like that's it.
And,
No validation.
and the thing is, when they say we don't want to work, well, guess what? We get turned down for jobs just because the color of our skin. But then y'all come out and say, "Oh, they don't want to work. They don't want to do this. They don't want to do that." Well, you don't know what you're getting. Hire someone that look different than you.
Right. Like, what
That
was that
ain't
law they had where they had to actually, like, the government had to step in and create a law stating you need to be inclusive, people. And people, and what other people heard was, oh, they just, no matter their qualifications, they got to hire black people just to be PC. What was it? Affirmative action.
yeah,
That's what
affirmative
it was.
action. Yeah,
And it's like, no, that's not what that is. Like the fact that I have a master's and then your niece who barely has a degree can get the job that I'm qualified for, make the money I'm supposed to get, but then you want to hire me at like a fraction of that, and then if I turn it down, oh, she doesn't want to work. Well, no, I don't want to work
exactly.
for $13 an hour. Like,
And
I
then
have all this experience, then that's what those laws were for. It's like, no, hire people of quality and open it up to all races. Like, that was the whole point of that. You can't just stack the deck with your cousin thems, just to keep it white. Like, come on now.
or they get a young kid in a position that want to talk to a much older and experienced person, and they want to talk to them. They're the supervisor that they come in and you have to train them.
Right. Like, they know absolutely nothing. Like, you see it everywhere. It's like, dude, you're like 12 years old.
Exactly.
Do you know how to? No, I don't.
Tell them, look, man,
That's
I
what
got
I'm supposed to be
socks
learning from
older than
you.
you.
And I eat it up because I'll let you do, listen, oh, I don't know that. Do it yourself. Like, unless
Be
I'm
like,
being quite helpful that day, but let me get in one of my moods. Oh, I wasn't trained on that. I thought that was part of your job description. Yeah, okay. Let them
exactly.
go down. Save all the emails.
Be like, look, you want me to train you on what I learned on my own
Right.
for
Years
free?
of experience and just hand it to you. No, man, press him.
Nah, nah.
Nah, I don't
I
know.
went to school for this, and you
Right.
don't even have your GED and can't
Right.
can't
Like, I thought you
get
had
me
the
to hire you.
experience. Figure it out, Junior. My
You
boss
got
is like that too. She's like, sometimes I just play dumb. I mean, sometimes you just gotta, you get tired of like giving people, a helping hand, and you get nothing for it. Like not even a thank you or whatever is, and you see kudos going and praises on the other end. It's like, but I trained them.
exactly,
Like we get none of the credit.
and they overlook you.
Yeah, like on bonuses, like we just got bonuses. But yeah, we keep documents too in records. Like we have a whole file. Like I wish you would say that I wasn't helpful, and I will copy you on all these emails. This is HR. They're supposed to know all this stuff. Why are they asking us questions? Now I
Well,
also have a HR background, so I assist sometimes for the benefit of the employee. But sometimes, like my boss said, I play dumb. Mm,
mm, and
I thought
sometimes
that
you
was
have
HR
to do
function.
that.
Reach out to your HR person. They sent me to you. We're payroll. We don't do that.
Exactly.
Sorry.
I did put. Excuse me.
Yeah.
I did put the link up in the chat for the for the article you did for the history. So in case anybody didn't see it, you could go to
Yeah, because
the
where did I get the
page.
other article? Like I said, Bernadette Giacomazzo, Giacomazzo, and it's called "Yes, Sundown Towns Are Still a Problem for Black Travelers in the U.S." Wikipedia, and then of course the link you shared, and then www.abhmuseum.org is where I got most of my stories with James W. Lowen and his book. And so, yeah, those are what I cited from.
Now, also, I know we didn't get a chance to discuss it, but you said you haven't seen the Green Book yet.
I have not.
I would recommend anybody to watch that movie. It's
Well,
a
I like
great
Vigo. I'm
movie.
surprised I hadn't watched it.
It's really good. It's really good. It'll tell you how exactly how um I don't want to get too much in it, but
Right.
how musicians was treated back then. So it's really interesting. Black folks in general. So um Radio said he saw it, and
Like, I meant to. Like, it's bad when all your Caucasian peers have seen it and you haven't. And they're telling you, you should really see this movie. And I'm like, yeah. Let me finish watching Stargate, you know, for
I've
the
actually
1500th
seen it
time.
a couple of times.
I have not. I keep forgetting about it. You know what? Hold on. Let me write it down because the Green Book. Because, I am a fan of Argon. And then I forgot, what's the other dude? He's going to be and he's supposed to be Blade in the Marvel. I don't remember his name.
I have no idea. Oh,
It's something hard in it.
okay, yeah,
Yeah, the black guy.
yeah,
The one who's in all these movies and we don't know his name.
him over there.
We don't
um,
know our people, but I know Aragorn from the Lord of the Rings.
that's a damn
Yes,
shame.
I know. See, black folks, we need to do more sci-fi, and then I'll know who you are. I'm just saying. Hold on, let me Google Green Book.
Yeah, the Green
What
Book.
is your name? Because he's been in every Oh, listen, I can't pronounce that. We just gonna call him Mr. Ali, Mahershala Ali. Him. I think he's supposed to be Blade. Where am
Who?
I? Him
The one. Let me
in the
look.
Marvel series.
That was too close. I didn't see it.
Oh, my bad. See, I'm looking on the side to see what
Oh,
you can
okay.
see. Hold on.
You got to raise it up. Okay.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Him
him.
right. Him right there.
Yeah. That's why
um,
we don't know his name because it's hard. Mr. Ali, that's your name.
but the Green Book is actually based on a true story.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So it's interesting. I would recommend that movie.
Let's see.
Uh,
Is it streaming anywhere? Because if it's not streaming, I'm not paying for it.
what the Green Book?
Yeah.
Um,
Let's see. Oh, wait. Let me see. It may be on Netflix.
I
If
was
it's
gonna
on
say,
Netflix, then I'll add it. And I'm almost done with the Great British Baking Show. Like, I've watched it from season 1 to 8. I'm almost done with that, and that'll be next.
okay. I'm trying to think.
I will add that.
Another.
It's not pulling up. Hold on.
I'm trying to see if it's streaming anywhere.
I know my Netflix is doing something weird.
You know the internet been doing some crazy stuff.
It's Aliens.
It's on Amazon.
Is it on Amazon? Because I have all those channels.
Yeah, it's a streaming video and digital HD from Amazon Video and iTunes. So
Do I got to pay for it, though?
if you have an Amazon account, wait, I know
Well,
you
sometimes
have
they
Amazon.
trick you, and they're like, "Oh, you can watch it on Amazon for $3.99." What? I'm not paying.
Yeah, you got to watch that. Let me see if I
All
can.
right, so it's not on Amazon.
Oh, it's not.
No, they lied to me. That's probably why I didn't pull up. I just do. I have no idea what I
Radio
just did.
want to know: have you seen Wild Wild Country on Netflix?
Never even heard of such a thing.
I never heard of it. I'm gonna have to
Somebody
look at
told
it
me
and
about
see.
something that I was supposed to look at, but I didn't watch it, and it was about black cuisine, I guess, or some cultural thing. Something about a pig. I don't know.
Oh,
High on the hog.
oh
That. I knew it had a pig. I don't know if it's food related. Sorry, that was my television. I hovered too long on something.
no,
Um. So yeah, I'm just searching to see if the Green Book is on one of my things.
it's for rent or buy for $3.99 on Amazon.
Yeah,
So
moving right along. You know what? I'll watch it on my Fire Stick. Like I watch all the other shows. I mean, that's how I watched. I mean, allegedly, I watched
know
Black
what?
Widow. I'm
Remind
paying
me when
$30 for it.
remind me when we get off the air, and I got something for you. Got a little something for you. Radio said it's a documentary of sex cult. Ooh, the Tucker of a small town in Oregon. That probably was real in Oregon.
Listen, I watch all those true crime shows, and it's a lot of cultish stuff. Like they have a whole series on cults in the U.S., and they do some stuff.
Yeah, some of them
Yeah.
are kind of shaky. I'm trying to see if it's um trying to see if it's um on the chill station.
On the chill station. Don't you have to pay for that?
Oh
They be like, "Oh, it's on Paramount." Oh, I got a Fire Stick.
no, I was talking about uh Netflix and chill, and you know how those young folks be saying.
I don't know what they were doing. I was doing puzzle and chill. I was doing crossword puzzles with bottles of wine. Let me see. Oh, look, wait. I think it's on Hulu. But it's got
Maybe.
commercials. Oh, it is. All right. I'll add it to my stuff. It's done. I added it.
Oh, radio said it was a true story.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna have to check it out. Uh, I don't know. It was somebody told me to watch something one time, and I tried. It just didn't go too
What was it?
good. I
Let's
think
see.
it was our old buddy, the other one, uh, the Angry Donkey or something like that. Um,
Oh. Let's
yeah.
see. High on the Hog is how African American cuisine transformed America. And it's a 4-part docu-series on Netflix. Mm. Well, I like food, so you next.
TK said, I love the Green Book, but I love all those type of movies. Hey, Green Book was good to me. I enjoyed it. Um, talking about Lucky Radio. Radio right now, it may take me about 2 months to watch it if it's an 8 hour
Listen,
documentary.
that's just one day for me. I didn't watch series in a weekend.
I used to, but I don't have the time right now. So
Well, it's easy for
like,
me to do it because like I'm just at my computer typing and then like I'll have something playing in the background. So,
oh, okay. That's right. Eva Donkey. I said, what I say? Angry Donkey or something?
I don't
Eva
know, same
Donkey.
thing.
Yeah.
I thought you were just trying to be coded and not say his name for real. So,
No, I
man,
forgot his name. I think he switched it over to somebody else now.
I miss
Uh,
Evil. Evil,
he,
come back. Act like you got some sense, please.
I unblocked him back in December.
I know he don't love us anymore, but then I think he did change his name to something else though.
I do too. Uh, because he was kind of on his good days, he was good to be on the show, but on the bad days, I think he was little low in the ball or something. I don't know. Um, well, it's been about a month. The guy that came on, the one that kept calling with the block number,
Hmm.
um, radio time, like, you haven't had a troll in a while.
I know. Are they recovering
Um,
from the COVID?
hey, no, they may not. Yeah, I hate to
Oh,
say.
speaking of, so everybody, y'all know, just got back from Puerto Vallarta. Had a grand old time for like a week. They're shutting it completely down August 1st because of the COVID cases.
Mm.
In Texas, what we do, it's optional. We got 13 variants of COVID. Yeah, somebody's doctor said there's like 13 variations of COVID. And I don't know if that includes the Delta or if that's its own separate thing.
Well, no, because it was reported earlier this week. Um, there was another variant that was found in Miami, I believe. Orlando.
It's always Florida. We need to cut,
Yeah,
like, seriously, like that cartoon in Bugs Bunny when he cut away Florida. Florida needs to be an island by,
yeah.
just far away. Like, I'll take, like, we can push Cuba over to us in that spot and then let Florida just be adrift. I'll vote for
Well,
that.
unfortunately, since we're talking about the coronavirus, and okay, our piece of a governor, as some people call him, Governor
Hot
COVID.
Wheels.
No, Governor COVID. Uh, but he's he playing with fire right now because instead of mandating a mask mandate to keep us safe, this fool said that it's up to us to keep ourselves
Yeah,
safe.
yeah,
We should wear a mask or not wear a mask.
yeah.
And I'm like, really?
Personal responsibility.
But he's our leader.
My leader. Rolling down like Mac and me.
but and not only that, see, it's kind of funny because when Miss Risky and I text each other earlier, I was like, look, I don't know what we're going to talk about. But we didn't really discuss what we was going to talk about tonight. But some things she said have actually gone together. Like, for instance, when you was doing the Sundown towns, you
Hmm.
mentioned that how they would pull over black folks and escort you out of town.
Hmm.
Well, yesterday, Greg Abbott gave state troopers the okay to pull over immigrants that he feel that is transporting folks and racial profile them. So here it
See,
is.
all this stuff comes from the top, and it's not like Joe Bob. When we talk about reparations and repairing the damage that the government has done to its black citizens, this trickles down from the top. Like, you wouldn't be doing this if it was, if there were laws protecting us against abuses and harassments and murder and all these things. Because the government is like, and y'all are like, like they're
Exactly.
gonna keep doing it. So now it's like now they're giving power to the police officers to do whatever. Like, they ain't gonna keep doing whatever. It's gonna be like, okay, corral.
Yep. And
And then I'm gonna
I
roll down Hot Wheels down a hill like that. Y'all remember that movie Mac and Me? The alien. It was like a stupid little movie from the 80s. Yeah, Lord.
I'm gonna just leave you on the stream by yourself.
we're just gonna YouTube all these things. Anything rolling down a hill, rolling down a river. Yeah, just saying.
Hey, it's time for Greg Abbott to go.
It's time for a lot of them to go. We need to
It's
change
time for a
the
lot of
government. Like we need to revamp it because all these rules and regulations and these amendments and these bills, they're outdated. And we shouldn't have to have like, meetings and voting and having things brought to the floor to disband them. Just clear it all out and start over. Let's clear them
it's
out.
it's time to clean the swamp. That's where we are today. And Greg Abbott know his time is up. He know he's about to get up out of here. Uh, he's about to get up out of here. So and just like Aaron Ritz, the Texas deputy um, attorney general, I guess he's for the law strategy or something. Talked about Simone Biles, called their childish for not competing yesterday. And we don't need leaders like that. It's a new time. So because of that, it's time for us to get them out. And Greg Abbott been in there way too long. Him, Dan Patrick, Ken Patson, now Aaron Ritz. And you also have to go. So that's what we're going to work on next year. Hopefully, we're going to make some changes all across this country and send our leaders a message that we're not going to take this anymore. It's time to make a change. Um, now, what radio was talking about, the House of Representatives mandate masks, again, and the GOP lost their mind like kids in a sandbox. Yes, but also I was reading earlier that there's actually they've been given permission. Anybody not wearing a mask in a government building will be arrested. So I'm just like, hey, um, do what you have to do. Yes, it is our responsibility to keep ourselves safe. But to do stuff just for the hell of it, it's not good. You going against all the odds and passing out wrong information. So, um, and so I'm like, oh, okay. I just something else just came across.
Oh Lord.
Yeah, and I hate to even because I talked bad about them last night. But GOP lawmaker accused of trespassing at DC prison, holding Capitol riot suspect. Why are they there? Are they trying to break them out? I wear it every day too. I wear two. I wear two masks, and I'm not
I just do one, but it's like those where you can put the filter. But I'm not around people.
true. Now, for me, if I'm around somebody, I definitely have it on. But if I'm by myself, I don't, and I keep hand sanitizer with me. But people just got to get over it.
Oh, and my boss said that she thinks that we're because certain places are looking at another lockdown to stock up on some supplies, y'all. Because they gonna be stocking up on stuff. I think
I
I'm still good because I still have like stuff in the trunk of my car because they had a sale, and I just bought like a couple. I was like, 450. Oh yeah, let me get those. It's still in the trunk of my car, and I still have like a pack. You know what I mean? So it's just me and paper towels. So I
Um,
find a sale though. I'm gonna buy a couple more.
well, the thing is, I went to a business the other day because I was looking for something, and I said, okay, I'll run in here and see if they have it instead of going to a huge grocery store. And there was the cashier and a police officer was in there talking, and they was like, the cashier told the police officer, "Well, I hope we don't go back on lockdown because last time we didn't have nothing on the shelves. Everybody was came in, took everything out." I'm like, shoot, you running a business, you might want to be happy that they're coming in and buying your stuff. But
Yeah,
at the
but
same,
they got kind of unruly though.
yeah, they did.
I
They
mean, these workers
overboard
make what $9 an hour, and you running over them. And like, I remember that one
and
video of
treating you
Walmart,
bad.
and they ripped through the pallets. I was like, they hadn't even unpacked it, and they just ripped through it like wild animals. But I was like, that was their fault.
Like
They needed to set a limit before that even happened.
like the sale after the day after Thanksgiving. I
Yeah.
refuse to call it that.
Oh no, no, no.
But yeah, kind of like that. I'm like, look, you don't have to do all that. Just go get what you need and move on. But I said,
Exactly.
I said a long time ago when they started rushing to open everything back up, we're gonna go back on lockdown.
Hmm.
Unfortunately, with the piece of a governor that we have, we will be the last state to go back on lockdown. Because if it's up to him, we won't go back.
And here's the funny thing: like Mother Nature is trying to keep us indoors. Like we had, I mean, it wasn't an outbreak, but we ended up with monkeypox, Delta variant, and then there was something going on in the hospitals, some bacterial infection
And yep.
that they couldn't fight it. Like you get it, you pretty much done. And this is in the hospitals. I was like, how many more things do we need to have? Oh, and then we got freaking what is it that scorpion that shoots acid out his butt? It's a text. Like we got all these things trying to keep us in the house, and what we do, we want to take TikToks with it and get the Delta variant.
Now, you up here.
No, for real. Did you not
I,
see that
I
one?
I know what you're saying, but the way you said it, and I'm in the middle of drinking some water.
Next is gonna be like, we have actual meteor showers. Stay in the house, and so
Now
I'll
we
be out
had a
there.
meteor
You
shower
can't
last week.
infringe on my rights.
We had a meteor shower Monday.
Well,
I
it
mean
was a
Sunday.
meteor.
Well, one is more is enough.
Yeah, it broken up in our atmosphere, and they were talking about there was a big one that was gonna come close to us. I don't know if that's happened or not, and I don't know. Like all these things, and we hard headed. Ain't nobody listening. Yeah, our mutated armadillos.
Armadillos come up barking at you. Woo, woo.
No, I think it's if anything, it's gonna be those raccoons. They're already out of control and they're big. It's gonna be them and squirrels. It's gonna be a mutiny and they be knocking on the door. Give me your trash. Like Planet of the Apes is just gonna be Planet of the Little Critters.
So you're gonna make me wait until the night before trash to get that trash?
Right. Right.
Don't send it out of here. I don't want to have to break in and get it.
I'm trying to
So
see if I can find that picture because my friend's mom literally had a squirrel at her door. And she was like, "Oh, like waiting by I guess they have a dog dish or something out there. And it was empty, and it was just standing out there like, you gonna fill this bowl up?" And she's like, "Well, I guess I gotta fill it up because the squirrel is hungry."
no,
Let
I
me
seen
see.
somebody on. I think it was on Twitter, and I forgot the young lady's name, but she came outside and said she was going to check her mailbox, and it was a deer out there looking at her like, "Hey, my food not back there." So,
Right.
so the way the deer was looking, she was like, "I can't even check my mailbox. I gotta go out here and put the food out here." So she went
Oh,
in the
here it
back.
is. She had to put some food in the little container.
Oh
The little
Lord.
squirrel just waiting there. It's like you gonna like you can't make this stuff up.
Nah,
Like
you can't. You can't. And so the woman went out there and put the food in the back, and then this other deer came up, and she was like, "Yeah, that one over there." Um, it was one of them she was upset at because he took a dump in the food. And I was like, okay, but she put the food out, and they just come. They don't get close to her, but they do come to her backyard just to eat. I'm like, all right.
yeah. Oh, and then whatever happened to the murder hornets? Because ever since we found out that the point praying mantis or other bees were taking them out, it wasn't a thing anymore. Like,
Well, I seen a video a couple of weeks ago where a murder hornet attacked just a regular bee, and the rest of the bees attacked the murder hornet. They were
yeah,
just waiting for him to attack, and once he did, they lost one, but that murder hornet lost his life too. So, um,
and I know one was saying but and it took out a cicada. Um, that's the video. That's somebody's yard. So
oh
that's the
wow,
murder hornet taking down a cicada. That I just saw one the other day. It screamed at me. I forgot they were loud and big. We both screamed, ah, ah! He got a little too close.
so
Yeah.
y'all looked at each other like, hey,
Yeah, he screamed, I screamed. That's like, get away from
don't
me.
don't get too close to me now.
Yeah, so it's just out of control. But like I have no problem staying in the house. Like I can have food delivered to me. I can't go back. I need my minions to bring forth my food and my groceries.
Exactly.
Everything. Like I'll come out like the groundhog every once in a while. See my shadow.
Well, the way that they're saying now that tomorrow CDC is supposed to make a big announcement about the virus. Uh, we don't know exactly what they're going to say, but allegedly that um, they they already requesting everyone to wear a mask, even if you are vaccinated. You should still wear a mask. But some of the stories I've seen, allegedly, what they're going to talk about tomorrow is possible people that have been vaccinated and spreading the virus and not knowing. So you still have to be careful. You have
Yeah.
to be careful, vaccinated or unvaccinated. So
Yeah, because I mean, you get vaccinated from the flu doesn't mean you're gonna not get the flu because you could get another strain of the flu. Like it's a virus. Protect
true.
yourself and others. You know, we don't know what this thing's gonna do, and it's got 13 variations and a delta.
And they continue to go up because a lot of hospitals are reporting that are pretty full. Um, so we have to do what's best for us and protect ourselves, our family, and people that we are around because we never know what might happen. So definitely, and even if you had COVID in the past, they're still saying you need to get vaccinated also. You need to take it also. So definitely um, be smart about this. Don't listen to signs. I I know people say, well, they don't know what's going on. Well, it's best to listen to somebody who have an ideal instead of listening to somebody who's doing a conspiracy.
Yeah, yeah. I go with a doctorate over Jim Bob in the backyard any day.
Exactly. Um, don't say that too loud, radio, because it's
But Canada also like closes down their borders to us.
yeah,
Like you don't have Floridians up there contaminating the place.
But see, here with us, soon as they lifted the mandate, the flights went on sale. People started traveling, and it was a Senate. I believe it was yesterday or the day before. He made a good analysis of this. He said, "Look, I may not be from a city that is in the hot zone, but with everybody in this room, it's going to be some people coming from a hot zone coming into the Senate room, and they can possibly spread it to everybody in here. So wearing a mask should not be a problem." He said he don't like them, but he will wear one if it's going to save his life, his family life, and people around him life. So, and the way that he said in that video, it was so profound to because he broke it down. Look, regardless of what you think, you don't know where people are, where they're coming from. They may be coming from a hot zone, going into a bigger hot zone or whatever. Protect yourself.
Right, because nobody looks like they been exposed. I mean, it's just like diseases. Wrap it up. You don't know these people' habits. You don't know their partner's habits. Same
Exactly.
principle. You don't know these people. Like I went and got an adjustment. And my doctor was like, "Why are you wearing your mask? You got vaccinated, dude. I don't know
Mhm.
your habits.
Yeah.
Haven't seen you in like a month. Like, let me wear my mask and you can go maskless. Crack my back and get on with it."
Yeah. That's
Like, I just thought that was weird. Like he looked at me like, and that's how people are. They're just like, well, you were vaccinated. Well, why are you wearing a mask? Like I'm clean. I don't know you.
yeah. My doctor told me that too. He was like, you don't have to wear your mask in here. I said, I feel better.
Yeah,
I
like
feel much comfortable wearing one. Well, you don't have to. Then when I mentioned about it, I said, yeah, you heard about that church camp last week. This was a couple of weeks ago. I said, where over 100 people got infected. He was like, oh, they just threw the numbers up. It wasn't like that. Then I guess he seen my eyes, and my eyes said a whole bunch. So he changed the subject real quick. Um, I'm like, look, let's do what we came in here to do. If I could get up out of here, your personal belief and mine so don't even need to be brought up. So, um, uh,
not a Zord ball and roll them all down a hill.
hey, somebody just came from what country was that the guy was coming from? Trying to get somewhere, ended up in New York or somewhere. In a hamster type ball that he was rolled across the ocean on. This just happened earlier this week. Um,
I missed that one.
no, it was uh, hold on.
Let me see. I
If
think they're
this
called Zorbs.
if this is your first time listening, we are a live show, so we may have to um, research some things. Florida man in a bubble wash up on the beach while trying to run on water to New York.
Florida.
Well, he was from Florida, but he washed up on the beach. Where did he wash up at? Um, I should have pulled it up on my phone if I could show you how this thing look. Now, first of all, I'm not gonna get in anything like that. That's too much water to be trying to drink in a short period of time. And so that was just kind of crazy on his behalf. Let me see if I could pull it up. for y'all to see and see how it look. Um, I know
Well, that's
some.
not a Zorb. I don't know what that was. This is a man-made thing he got.
Yeah, yeah, that's it. And I was finna show the
Yeah,
same thing, but you
yeah.
probably can't see it
Some
from there.
watercraft. Um,
Like your pod bubble. I said, shoot, he had a yeah. That's I don't
Apparently
think I
it's the
would.
common thing because somebody else traveled to Bermuda using that same contraption. I was thinking it was like a Zorb because that to me would be safer. I don't know what that mess was, but let me show you what a Zorb is. Because I was thinking this, like a little.
Oh,
That's a
okay.
hamster ball. Like
Yeah,
you just roll down a hill, and you could also put them on like pools and water like that. That's what I was thinking that he was traveling in.
I'm trying to see where did he come from. Um, they originally called it a hamster wheel like vessel.
Yeah, because they
Um,
said, and I don't know where he's from. Ressa Baluchi. He was traveling from St. Augustine, Florida, to New York. He called his vessel a hydropod bubble. Okay.
him got confused somewhere. He
He's
should
in
have made a
Florida.
left. Should have made a left, but he made a right. When he say Florida, say a whole bunch about him. Huh? No offense to anybody from Florida, but yeah.
I mean, yeah. I mean, he may live in Florida because it started there, and that sounds like something Floridians would do. Just something random.
Yeah, it sounds
Oh, so this is the other story. So this isn't his first attempt. So that's why that other story came up. So he made two similar attempts to run from Florida to Bermuda in a pod in 2014 and 2016. So this isn't his first day at the rodeo.
from Florida to
Uh huh.
Bermuda.
Yeah.
So I said he should have made a right, but he ended up making a left. I'm just saying he went the wrong way. Um, but hey, each his own. But I wouldn't um, get in nothing like that. Talking
I mean,
about
I wouldn't get on that thing that he made, but that Zorball looked fun. But I would do it in like a pool or going downhill or something because that looks fun.
yeah, but I don't know. I don't think I. Mm-mm. Um, either way. Uh, either way, I wouldn't do it. It's too much water to be trying to drink. Um, and from Florida to Bermuda,
Well,
that's
no, he that was the first attempt. He went from
okay.
Florida to New York, or tried to go to New York or something, or he washed up in, yeah, to New York. Yeah, so he made it that far from Florida to New York in his floating watercraft.
Oh, okay.
That's a long way to go.
Yeah,
And his first two attempts were from Florida to Bermuda because I guess those are shorter tracks.
it look like Bermuda is a straight shot across, but um, yeah, from what I'm looking at on the map, it look like it's kind of straight across. Yeah, he
Yeah,
still should have made a right, but he made a left instead and went to New York. um, but hey,
if he went the other way, he'd be in Texas.
well, it depends on what side he left on. It depends on which side he left
Like,
on.
where are you trying to send him?
If he was on the east side, he should have made a right. Well, should have went out and cut right about halfway there
To
to
go where?
Bermuda.
Well, he already done that. He ended up in New York.
Either way, he's not that bright. Radio asked, did he have his passport?
To go to New York?
That's not where he was planning on going. That was not a planned stop. Because the
What was
first
he?
story,
Where was he trying? Because he'd already gone to Bermuda, so you think he'd know where he was going. Like, what was his destination? Hold on, let me
well,
see.
the first story I read, they said he got
Hold
into
on, what's on the
trouble after
coast?
getting started.
Can so that's a long way.
Okay,
And
one story say man bound for New York and hamster wheel life vessel washed up on Flagler County Beach. Where's where is that?
so Augustine, Florida to New York in his craft. Uh, and then they talk about in recent years he was off the coast of St. Augustine in 2014, and he was attempting to run from Florida to Bermuda, but that was 2014. 2016, he was rescued off the coast of Florida after setting off from Pompano Beach. I don't know where that is to reach Bermuda. So is he trying to always go to Bermuda and then he ended up in New York this time?
Hey,
I
maybe
don't know.
maybe he just low in the ball or something. I don't know. So Flagler Beach is in Florida. So it's in Florida. He thought he was in Bermuda, I guess. I don't know. Hey, if you out there listening, hit us up because we want to know what you was trying to do. We
Yeah, because
want
I
to
think
know.
like I don't think that was his destination. I think that was just he was trying to go somewhere, but it doesn't.
They said one story said he was bound for New York, but he ended up in Florida.
Because like he has a lot of stories. He's got a lot of stories, like, and it goes back to 2014, and he's hit a lot of places. And one of them, he was so dehydrated, he had to be rescued.
So he didn't pack a lunch.
Listen, uh, it looks like he put more thought in how to get places. I don't think he brought a sack lunch.
Mm. T-Cat talking about y'all cutting up. Radio talking about
And then you can't like if he's tumbling around, like the ocean spins you around. You can't drink water. He all dehydrated. Like, how does this even work?
hold on. How did he go to the bathroom?
Sloshing
Oh, he
around
didn't think
in his little wheel.
he didn't think that far.
Well, no, like there's like again, it's a
maybe
lot of
water
things.
maybe water come in and just kind of
No,
wash it
like
out.
I mean, but then he'll drown because then he won't be able to stop it. Like that doesn't look like something you can control. A lot of things you're limited. Maybe
Yeah.
he had a bag and he just hooked himself up to a hose. I don't know.
Yeah, but think about it. If you on the waves and it's bouncing you around,
I mean, if it's
I,
connected to you, so like a hose, he probably put some duct tape on it and it's just connected to a hose, so you know you still do your business and it won't get on you. I don't know how the logistics works with a penis, but I would think just hook it up to a hose and wrap it up, and it's you have your portal.
that sound like
Or
that
maybe he
hurt.
had a diaper, like the astronauts. He probably had a diaper on. I don't know.
Yeah, but
I don't know what's his name. We call in Reza Baluchi. I have questions.
he might be trying to take care of that diaper rash right now
We
because he
got
probably itching.
we got specific questions to ask you, not necessarily about the trip, just the logistics.
Yeah, we want to know where your mindset is. Uh, Radio talking about his nickname should be three lefts and a right. Um, then that's a good question, Radio, because I'm trying to figure all this out. Because can you imagine?
Yeah,
Can you imagine being off inside this thing,
right.
closed
There's
up? The sun is shining on you during the daytime because you can't stop.
and
Sun shining on
and you're exhaling carbon monoxide, not monoxide, carbon dioxide,
you. Hey,
and
but the
it builds
gases,
up. Yeah,
But the gas is from his body fluid.
yeah. And then whatever he made his contraptions with, like I'm sure something from the plastic was fueling that. All
Yeah.
delirious. He probably thought he saw the Loch Ness monster. He probably had thought he had a 3-course meal. A lot of things.
Yeah. Mm. Hey, call in, holler at us. Let us know what your mind, what were you thinking about? How did you do it? As Miss Rissy said, the logistics of it, because this
How you go to the restroom, sir?
did you wear a pamper?
Was it
Uh,
on a hose?
because did you take anything to drink or eat?
Right, because it's like there's no way when you're in a round ball that the waves aren't going to be spinning you around. Like
Did
maybe
you
when it's
get motion
calm, it'll
sickness?
be flat and you just floating, but at some point you're gonna be tumbling.
Did you get sick from all the waves? I'm curious.
Came out all crusty. He turned
Hell,
into a cow. He just ate what came out.
uh, but still, the fumes, the gases from it can't be
Ooh,
good.
and then what if he actually had gas? That thing was
Oh
flammable.
no. Well, say don't light a match.
I know, right?
Hey, you untried it several times. It's time to stop that one. Go back
Yeah.
to the drawing board. Come up with a better plan because what
You
you've
know,
been
be a
doing
ball
is
of
not
fire.
working.
That sun catch that fire, all them gases.
Ray, you're talking about if you let the ball, let the air out the ball, you're done.
Like for real.
Exactly. It'll blow up.
Like
It's what blow
seriously. Like
on you.
something reflects and catches that sun,
Or better
magnifies
yet,
it.
can you imagine him being in that sun all day? And certain things like plastic, stuff like
Yeah,
that,
it
certified,
reflects.
it,
It's a
it
magnifying glass.
exactly. And mess around and
He's a bomb. He's a human bomb in that ball.
mess around and be going across the ocean and they see,
It's like I saw a mushroom cloud in the Pacific Ocean
and then
or the Atlantic Ocean.
turn around. But I don't know why, but I see corn falling. I see
It just
corn
be like
falling.
little hell balls,
Be like,
little fireballs.
I think some corn blew up in the ocean. But yeah, either way, um, I don't know what he was thinking about. I would like to know. I'm curious about this. I would never do it, but he tried it several times.
Like Arsenio used to say, things that make you go, hmm.
Hmm,
Hmm.
hmm. Radio said probably use Google GPS to navigate from his phone. Either that or Waze, because
Yeah, but
Waze to take you to back roads.
even if he's using that, he can't control where he's going. Like he didn't have
Not if you want.
like he didn't have pedals or anything. He just knew he could just know approximately where he was. Well, I'm here. Nothing I could do about it.
I don't know where I'm going.
I'm literally going with the flow.
I just got in the ocean. I said, wherever the ocean goes,
Jesus, take the wheel. That hamster wheel.
the motion of the ocean would take me where I need to go. And then my name will be all in the newspaper again, and they'll
Unless
talk
I
about
blow
me
up
on the
and
trip.
then be no record of me.
Like he was smart. He was trying to do some things. He wanted to be famous. 9 years. I've been the big. Oh, well, never mind. I lost track. Um,
I think we lost track like 30 minutes ago.
yeah. Um, yeah. I would love. I'm serious. I would love to have him come on and explain to us what he was trying to do. Um, You could call her, what the hell were you thinking? Yeah. Matter of fact, that might be what I need to call instead of call the dumbass for the day. Call, what the hell were you thinking? Might have to use that.
It'd be like,
Uh,
what the? With the face.
what the hell? Yeah. Um, so definitely, if he's listening, reach out to us. I'm interested. I'm curious to know what what were your plans. Maybe he had a steering wheel in there and it broke off. It didn't work like it. You're not taking it. Okay. I'm trying to help him out.
No, no, no,
Well,
no,
you know,
nuh-uh.
but
Mm-mm.
it could. Okay, I'm gonna go out on a limb. Allegedly, what could happen is supposed to have been two of them. When you ride one of those bikes and you have two people steering the bike and pedaling.
Look at this. No,
Uh,
it
that-
literally looks like the thing. What, what is it? It looks like I don't even know what it looks like. It looks like something you put into a reactor and drop in
and he just laid
for
there.
electricity. But yeah, that has no controls. It has some little like the steamboat pedal things. That's it. But it's just gonna catch the waves and keep going in a circle. So they were dizzy. If there was two people in there, they were dizzy. 'Cause look at that.
No,
That
no
looks like
way,
the rotor from the steamboat, like the
no
little
way,
flaps.
no way, two people could have been in there because he
No,
had
I
it
don't
laid
think
down.
so. But
And
we also don't know how big it actually is. Like, I have
according to that picture, it's
questions.
not that big. Because
Yeah,
can you
but
imagine
we don't
being
have like a reference image. Like, we don't know. I need dimensions. Florida, let us know the dimensions of this thing.
what I looked at? It looked like one of those old sewing thread, what thread come on back in the days when you get ready to put it on the sewing machine, you put it up there and it come off as you using the sewing
Oh
machine.
yeah, he was high as crap. Listen, it says the hydropod was shell was made of aluminum and plastic balls and runs on. Oh, so it does run on the power of the feet, but it still goes around in circles.
But you can't control it.
Right. Like you in the ocean. Like what are you controlling? Like pedal to the left. You like in a canoe. If you're not coordinated, you just end up in a circle.
Exactly. Yeah. And you can't. I don't see how he got any rest the whole time. They don't even say how long he was out in the water.
No, like they probably trying to figure out, fool, you went out in the ocean in this? Like we don't even know what this is.
Again,
Like, didn't you
um,
learn?
let me see.
Yeah, it
Radius.
doesn't say how long or how big it is, but it can't be too big. But
Let
yeah,
me
it's got.
let me see here. Radio. I'm gonna see if I can pull him up. Radio. See if he's on social media or not.
I mean, because
Uh,
that's a unusual name.
yeah, and it might be kind of hard to communicate too.
I mean, I'm sure he probably speaks English.
Um, I Google his name and say run with reason.org. Oh, this is him. He have a website.
Is he on Facebook?
No, he have a website.
I'm looking at Facebook.
Oh, he actually have it on there talking about this happening soon.
Oh,
Travel
look
to
at.
Bermuda.
I found him on Facebook.
Oh, is he on Facebook?
With his little ball.
Oh, so it's
So
not the
it is
big one
it's like the size of like a canoe.
because he's taller
'Cause
than the thing.
well, I mean, but we don't know how
But
tall
it's
it.
in
Look
a
at
it's in
he
a
looks like
glass
about
case.
average height. I don't think he's 6 feet because his knees too close to the ground.
Well, looking at
And then I
he's
think
not that
that
tall because
dock thing is about maybe 5 feet tall.
And he finished first at 20. Okay, where it go? Hold on.
I lost him. Hold on. There he goes.
He finished first at 24-hour challenge series at Boulder, Colorado, and they have a picture of him running. So,
Oh, they
uh,
have a picture of him in the giant bubble in, back in the day on his Facebook. I'm just going through all his stuff.
hmm.
You know, he looks fit in this one. I don't know how
Yeah,
long
he's
that
pretty.
is.
He, from what I'm
He's
looking
short.
at,
He
he
looks
looks
like he's
pretty
about
fit.
5'9", maybe like about that. Oh, he looks kind of scary. Yeah, you don't. He gonna turn into an evil donkey if he call. Like he looks like he would be kind of sinister.
Oh, for
Nat.
media inquiry, please contact my manager. Um, okay. Let me take a picture of this. I'll reach out to them, see what it's all about. See if we can get them on the show. And let's see. I'm gonna send it to you too. We'll see. His manager. Matter of fact, I'm gonna see if
Oh,
his
there's a
manager.
map of one of the places he was trying to do, like the Bermuda Triangle, pretty much one of his first.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to.
And then this one here looks big. Why didn't he go in something like that? Like that's
Oh yeah,
massive. So like it looks like he's gearing up to do something bigger.
hmm.
Okay, whatever. You go, Reza.
I also have his email on here too. So let's see what we can do. Uh,
CheetahEntertainment.com.
so
I know we were supposed to end the show, but we got distracted, guys. Like
exactly.
nobody's really saying anything of content. We're just we went down a rabbit hole. Forgive us.
Yeah, we
His
do that
birthday's March
twice.
17th. What that make him? What's after? Let's see.
Is it
Pisces? Is
Spicy?
he a Pisces? Oh
Maybe.
Lord. Oh Lord, he's one of us.
Now one of you.
One of us.
I'm that twin. Um, so it seemed like he's trying to do some pretty positive things in the community. Who is this? I think he's with a leader of Florida somewhere. But yeah, I'm gonna have to check him out and see. Oh, you have sponsors too.
I mean, clearly, because he's building all this stuff. He ain't doing that by himself.
Yeah. And okay, I see that same picture that you just showed on the deck. I don't think that's him. I think that's somebody else.
Which one? I lost him. Uh, I'm not pulling him
Uh,
up because we went down a rabbit hole
yeah,
and
yeah,
it's put a fork in it.
yeah. Because they talking about the one that they was walking on the deck. I don't think that was him because this guy looked a little bit bigger than him. And
Yeah. Well, the other pictures he was running and lean, so that's what I was saying. He looks like he's about 5'9" and fit. I don't know.
Ray Belucci Hydro Run 2021. So okay, well, radio. I'm gonna reach out to him, see what he say. I'm gonna say, hey, one of my great listeners want to have you on the show, and we want to be able to interview you and have people to call and talk in. Tell them because they have donations. So tell them, look, maybe you can get out your information. People may want to watch you uh, succeed. So yeah, come on the show. Remind me of the guy that designed a homemade suit to protect itself from bear attacks. That must have been up in Canada. I haven't heard about that one.
That was probably California too,
Yeah, well, yeah, yeah,
or Florida. They have bears.
yeah. Tennessee, Memphis. I mean
Yeah, but
Tennessee,
Tennessee. Uh,
Kentucky.
I think it's more of a Floridian thing. Either We can research that and bring it back to the show and see which
Yeah,
state
had the most
as a
players.
claims that feat.
Well, that's cool. So, Miss Risky, I know you've been working on your strips. You getting a couple of more set up, and um, in
Yep. Now we just
case.
got to try to sell.
So, tell the
But
people in case we have somebody new tuning in that talking about, hey, I want to know more about this. Maybe I'm interested in buying
mhm.
it.
Okay. So right now you can find me online at RSKEE on Instagram. That's where I live, pretty much. Stalking BTS. Don't judge me. RSKEBooks.com. You can check out my works. You can email me rskee at Yahoo for history information or just questions or whatnot. I may or may not respond. I don't know yet. Um, but look me up. Friend me on Instagram. I'm there.
Then, if you would like to donate to her cause for trying to get this material out, because you know it get very expensive.
Listen, I entered my script into a couple of contests, and yeah, they those fees something.
So,
So
if
we'll
you
see what happens. And I've been sending out my information to different agencies because I need an agent. That's what I need. Market this mess for me. So hopefully one of those things pans out, and then the other two projects I can get those going and eventually become a professional writer.
yeah. So, one question I'm gonna ask you, and then we're gonna get ready to get off. If you had a choice out of anybody you would love to see to put your material on the big screen, who will you choose right offhand?
Well, with this series, because it's based on some series of novels I did, Lee Daniels would be the best one because he did Empire. I mean, not Empire, Pose. Um, um, he did to do Empire too, didn't he?
Yep.
Yeah. So yeah, and it would be in that same genre, and so I could see that doing, him doing that because, or even Ryan Murphy, maybe, but he would do a weird twist with it, probably.
Okay.
Not Tyler Perry though. He needs,
You didn't like
unless I was the writer on it.
you didn't like Boo Halloween or Halloween Boo or whatever that Halloween movie did, Medel's
Not,
Halloween or something. Oh, okay. You know that's good to know. So, are if
no,
you
it's just like no comment, just in case.
yeah
Like if
um
I was writing it, if not for him to write, if I wrote it and worked with him to write it, yeah, I could work with Tyler Perry on it,
okay.
but not just to sell it to him outright and hope for the best. No.
Well, hopefully we can
So Lee
uh
Daniels, hook a sister up,
Lee Daniels. I'll let her. Got some good material.
right up your alleys.
Mm,
Cable ready.
I'll let her. So it's gonna happen soon. It will happen.
Yeah.
Somebody get wind of it, then next thing you know, they'd be like, "Who?"
When in fall, that's when they start looking up new stuff to roll out. So, and all these streaming apps, they need content.
Yeah, need contact. But I also was thinking, I'm trying to get my schedule together where I can actually start to try to get my book out this year. And I was thinking the other day, who would I want to work with as for because I feel like my book will be a movie. Um, who would I want to work with? And I would like to work with somebody, of course, somebody big, but then I would like to give somebody. the opportunity. Kind of somebody who's just starting out that have the connections that can actually be a good storyline for them. So now, one person I would like to work with, I would say Ice Cube, because he a lot of his shows have been pretty good. Any shows that he had a part in have really been good, and I think it will be a different set for him to do something like this, and I think it'll people probably would give him more respect when it come down to movies. So I would say Ice Cube or anybody who want that opportunity. So, but other than that, you can find Miss Risky mostly on Instagram. Um,
Always on Instagram, stalking BTS.
exactly, Instagram. You can find me. Just send me a message. Send me a message. I will get back with you. As Miss Risky said, maybe depends on what the message is. But yeah, I would definitely reach back out to you. And also, you can always send an email to me also. And um, be honest, email is probably the best way of reaching me.
Yeah, we need
Yeah,
history lessons.
who you with, KurtDog at mail.com. Who you with, KurtDog at mail.com. And at least with the email, I get an alert with that. And I respond back to that quicker than I would anything else. Not unless I'm just looking at my phone or something. But I hope y'all have a great weekend. Please continue to protect yourself as these numbers continue to spike. Um, please protect yourself at all costs. And other than that, we love you, each and every one of you. If the good Lord say the same, I will see y'all Sunday. So until then, peace.